determination for those members that are attending tonight, in case they didn't see it on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay, Tom, I think you're up first. This was your topic, order queens, nukes, and packages.
All right. Well, there's everybody knows that we have to, from the time we first started learning about bees and beekeeping, that it's always best to pre-order. So, and I don't know, depending on how long you've been beekeeping, you may or may not have lost hives. Most of us have at one time or another. So that's always a consideration also. If you want to maintain a certain number of hives, we usually try to have extra bees going in the winter. That's where sometimes the nukes help us to, if we've had nukes the year before, they help us to keep our numbers up. You go in the winter with a few extra, and you come out in the spring, hopefully with the same number, but if not, hopefully with the number you was hoping to maintain. And then if not, you can always do a split or what have you. But now is definitely the time to be ordering queens and nukes, or packages, any of those, and equipment. If you think this year is going to be anything like last year, there were shortages, and honestly, there were some things you couldn't get at all. I've just recently been able to get a few different containers, like mooth jars and 2-pound containers, but frames were difficult to get, and the prices were exorbitant. So that just equipment, same way, equipment, anything you need. That's mainly what I was going to talk about. That, and just really just making a plan. Trying to take some time, and you know, you don't have to crunch it all out in one day or one afternoon. You've probably been thinking about it already. To have a plan of what you really want to accomplish this year. You know, maybe you are going to try to make a couple nukes this year. You know, there's some great information on the website on how to make nukes and splits and what have you. And if you're unsure about that, reach out to our mentors. If you don't have a mentor, I encourage everybody to have one. Or just just because you're not, these people aren't mentoring you, doesn't mean you can't give them a call. You can call these mentors, and if you got questions and you can't get a hold of somebody else. I know I would be willing to talk to anybody at just about any time. Anytime I'm available, which is most of the time, and I'm sure the others would too. That's just about covers nukes and packages. Getting your equipment prepped. I mean, we're running out of time for that. I mean, it seems like winter's going to hang on, but we're right on the threshold of February, and toward the end of February, we're going to start seeing some pollen, and that's when I just start to perk up, you know, because I know the bees are starting to perk up. So then by the time you hit March, things are off and running. So it's not that far away. Some pollen patties are a good idea. There's winter and summer. Don't necessarily have to give them summer patties. Too much pollen might not be great, but these winter patties are very helpful. They got a lot of nutritional supplements in there, and and other things, and they have a small percentage, maybe 3 to 5% pollen. I think good pollen's easily 20%. We know that. So if you're paying top dollar for pollen patties, you're buying 20%. But the winter patties, you don't need that. And just keep your eyes on them. If lift them up. Make sure they're not too light. I don't want to cover too much. There's other people need to speak. That's all I got.
Okay, Jeff, you had your hand up.
Yeah, just backtrack to the mentorship. We have a list of people on the website in there designated by their counties. So if you're looking for a mentor, be sure and go to the website and look at it, see what somebody's close to you, try to contact them, whatever. If you'd like to mentor, we'd like to add you to the list. So that's something else. And all this can be done through the email, stclairbees@gmail.com, and we can go from there. Tim, you're muted.
I'd like to add on to the mentor thing. You don't have to have 10 years in to be a mentor. If you've been beekeeping 2 years, give it a shot. It'll help you learn a little bit, and you'll be helping out the new person too. We're really short on mentors, and we've got a lot of people in the clubs, I'm sure is eager to share their knowledge. Over. Okay, Tom, dead outs.
One more thing on mentorship. If you get me or you get somebody else and they got a mentor, you got their mentor too. So it's a chain. It ain't just what I know; it's what my mentor knows, and we're a network. So I just wanted to say that.
Ready for you?
Yeah.
We can hear you, Tom.
Okay. Trying to get the, I've got some slides to share too.
Coming up.
Oh. Can you see this, everybody?
So Tom, you have
Tim?
to go down and hit the share button, the big
Oh.
red button down below,
Okay.
Get through these.
or the green one.
It'll bring you up to another screen, Tom, and you'll have to click on the screen you want to share.
Got it.
Okay.
All right.
You see it now?
Very nice, Tom. It's up. Very nice.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just, I wanted to do a little bit of talking about dead outs, and I kind of did some writing of some for ordering queens and what I do. And so I'm going to share this on dead outs. If the weather conditions are, warm and hot, like in the summertime, and there might be hive scavengers present in your hive, if you find a dead out, there could be eggs and larvae present of hive beetles and wax moths and there could be other bees in there robbing, honey and pollen out that's in the hive. So as soon as you find out that your hive is dead, you want to take action right away before anything happens to the larvae and things hatching from all these scavengers. And you'll see signs of them. I mean, you may have a bunch of hive beetles in there and larvae. Okay, you want to take the frames. What I do, I take the frames and I put them in the freezer. The honey frames, I mean, I put them all in there and I leave them in there for at least 3 days, and that will freeze and kill all the eggs and larvae that could be in there from other pests. And if you don't need the frames right away, I mean, and you got plenty of room in your freezer, I like to just leave them in there. I've got a couple of freezers, and so it's just handier for me to leave the frames in there, and then that way they're taken care of in case something would happen. Now, if you had honey supers on and you had a dead out, you want to check your dead out and check to see if there's any signs of American foul brood or European foul brood. And to find out that, you may have to go to like a handbook or something to find out if you have that, because not everybody knows what the signs are. Now, I think in the handbook that we're giving with our beginners class, I think I know it is. It's listed in there, and it has a pretty good explanation of it. But if you find any of these two going on in the hive, I wouldn't recommend taking the honey frames and using them. But if your hives are good, other than that, like maybe if everything really looks nice and all the comb looks good, then you could probably take the honey frames and extract them, or you could put them in another hive for them to use. Okay, now if the weather conditions are cold and it's been cold for a while, there probably isn't a fear that there's hive scavengers in the hive, your hive beetles, wax moths, and but there could be robbing going on with the bees that are in the near vicinity. So you'd have to watch them. But if it's cold enough, and so that nothing is going to hatch and create a problem in the hive, then you can kind of leave it go for a little bit. You can close up all the entrances so that any robbing bees can't not get in there. And that buys you a little bit of time to think about what you're going to do with that hive, with the frames and everything, because you always want to try to plan ahead a little bit what you need to do. And for cold weather, it's the same procedure as like detailed in the warmer weather. Now, if you have room in the freezer and you can freeze them, that's great, and that's what I pretty much do, unless the frames are the comb is pretty empty. It's just maybe brood frame.